Hi guys, welcome back and thanks for watching another recap of the last 24 hours and the outlook for the next 24. So this is a daily chart of the S&P and you can see at the start of this candle, which was after the close yesterday, a little more than an hour after the close of the cash session, we put in some new all-time highs that we'll take a closer look at in a moment, but let's recap the sentiment going into the market. So coming into the market today, an hour before the market opened, the Philly Fed numbers actually came out and crushed the expectations, really beat the expectations for the Philly Fed. The market didn't really recap too much as far as headlines at the time. China had reported a drop in new cases at that time, and then also announced an interest rate cut. Japan reported 2 deaths, and according to headlines, researchers said that the pathogen seemed to spread more easily than previously believed. South Korea recorded an increase in new cases, and the dollar was up on safe haven flows rather than the yen, which is traditionally the major safe haven currency. And this is an interesting observation because it could be due to the fact that Japan's closer to China, and so the market just feels the dollar is a better safe haven for now. So it's an interesting decoupling in currency correlations, just to take note that things are kind of strange going into the market. Let's take a closer look and take a look at the hourly chart here. So in the hourly, you can see we traded up through the levels that we were watching towards the major 3400 level that I mentioned and have highlighted in that box, and we quickly rejected and then chopped around those minor levels that I'd mentioned before selling off in a major way down to this massive level of support that we've been watching for quite a while now. So let's go through and update the levels real quick. So these former all-time highs have been invalidated. So I'm going to get rid of one and update that one to there. Going to get rid of these minor levels, at least for now. And this level was resistance here, provided support here. Now it looks like it might be a little bit of a zone. So I'm going to draw this in here like that. So we're currently about 3 minutes from the close of the cash session, so we're testing that now. So in the middle of the day, there were a few headlines. Let's just cover those now, and these kind of were happening just around the time before and around the time that we sold off. We dropped about 50 handles in a matter of minutes. It was a pretty exciting drop. So let's see, Iran suspends flights in and out of the country on coronavirus fears. One central Beijing hospital reported 36 new cases, big increase from the 9 cases from 2 weeks earlier that caused fears of a quick spread in the capital. So there were unverified reports that Beijing may upgrade their control level to that of Wuhan, and that people are being asked to store food, water, and batteries. So let's take a closer look, because it looks like we are about to test that level. And this is a 5-minute chart. Let's review what's happened so far today. So market opened up right here and broke this very, very minor level, tested it as support, and then quickly broke back beneath it, used it as resistance, and continued to sell off. We traded through this level that we had on our charts here. We've updated it to a zone, but we traded through it, used it as resistance once we broke it, and sold down all the way to the 3350 zone that we've been discussing. Tagged a minor level that we had in there that has not been updated. In fact, we need to update. That's going to be a very significant level. So adding that one in there. So we traded up and are now retesting this level of support. So it was support here, a couple times earlier in the past. Very nice resistance right here. And we actually just closed. The market just closed about 2 minutes ago, the cash market. So we're currently sitting right beneath that level. So this is a very significant move. We dropped about 50 whole points in like 45 minutes. And it's not entirely clear what the catalyst was, aside from the headlines that we've covered so far. We've retraced most of that. So it's going to be really interesting seeing what happens here moving forward. All right, so taking a look at the economic calendar for tomorrow, biggest scheduled event is the flash manufacturing PMI. We have some Fed speakers, existing home sales, but the biggest hard data point is going to be at 8:45 a.m., about 15 minutes after the market opens. Once again, that's Central Time. So those are the scheduled events that are on their way to close out the week. Should be pretty interesting. So before we go, let's take a look at the technical outlook. So it looks like this level that we're retesting now could be pretty relevant. It's been the center of the range and is just now recently starting to prove to be a pretty clear line in the sand for now. In terms of levels above and below, I would still, if we do somehow end up breaking these all-time highs, that 3,400 level should be very, very interesting to watch. This 3,350 level continues to be a very interesting zone. It's been tested a lot of times now. So this is the 5th time we've tested it as support. And the reason this is such an important level is not only is it a round number, it also halted the up move. So these were all-time highs at the time, because the most recent serious pullback, aside from really today, which happened in a matter of minutes rather than the few days that this took. So going to be really interesting to see. The market may want to trade back to this range to see if there's acceptance there. But honestly, it's going to be the catalysts that drive us. We covered the scheduled events that are coming up. It's most likely that it's going to be the unscheduled catalysts that drive the market on Friday. So the risk of profit taking, I mean, we've been going sideways for the most part for several days. So unless we get overextended, there won't be too much of a profit-taking catalyst in place. It's most likely going to be coronavirus headlines, whether it's countries updating their security measures or new data out of China or the surrounding countries. We'll just have to see. So stay tuned and we'll check back tomorrow.